Okay, first I want to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Shemel Shai, Bashem Kodash. I'm going to double honor to elders, apostles, and teachers, great millstone from my line of truth. And I say shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. And I'm going to send this on Revelation chapter 13, and I might make this a two-part video. But I'm just gonna start here in verse 1. And and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name blasphemy. And this chapter is going into Esau's his power structure. You know, that beast is a so-called white man's power structure, and it mentions that in Revelation 17 or 18. I'm going to go to that. But the 7 heads, you know, the Greeks, Romans, the French, the Spanish, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and the British. And I think it's in Daniel or Revelation mentions how there's an eighth horn that came out of the 7, which is referring to America, which came out of Great Britain, because you have the what's that shit called? I think the succession of the 14 colonies, and America's Rome 2.0. But let me see, you know, should I keep going? Yeah, verse 2, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were the feet of a bear. And once again, this beast is talking about Esau's power structure in his system. And when you go into the leopard, going into Alexander, because that's where Esau, that's where his rule over the earth was first fully cemented, during Alexander. And you know, you have that saying, what civilization started with the Greeks, right? Because what Edomite civilization and Edomite supremacy started with the Greeks. You know, there was we already know there was civilization, there was history before Esau, but you know, Esau, that's the saying that he uses, but he's referring to his people and himself, you know, his civilization. It's like unto a leopard in his feet. And what was it? Daniel, it refers to Alexander as a leopard, you know, because not only did he take down, he conquered the world, I think it was the known world, in 12 years, but he also wore a leopard's pelt, or I think he had it on his horse, and his feet were the feet of a bear. Oh, and the 10 horns, going back to the original founding members of NATO. You know, like right now they have like 28, maybe more. But it was originally 10 that founded the thing. And where was I? Where's the feet of a bear, which is referring to Russia. And Russia isn't, you know, obviously Russia isn't a part of the you know, the 7 heads, because there is some fucking, I know there are some assholes that are saying that it was, but it's not. If it's going to, you know, if it's going to be a part, if it's going to be a part of the end of it, you know, because like it says, the feet going into what, you know, the feet is the end of something, and Russia is going to play an integral part in ending the Edomite Empire, because like what, America is being the head of the Edomite Empire, Russia declared America an enemy state. You know, and you have all these other countries with Russia going to Gog and Magog being a guard, that are in, you know, that want to move away from the dollar, that want to move away from you know, being allies with America. You know, going as far as to try to create their own currency. And his mouth is the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And that lion represents Britain. But it says the dragon going back into the Roman Empire. You know, because Rome was synonymous with a dragon. Gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And the Americans, the Americans, the whole, not American, but the Edomite system, it gets its philosophies, its doctrine, its way of doing things from Rome. When I saw one of its heads as were wounded to death, and the deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Going into what? Rome. You know, it says what? His head was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, being the Renaissance with the rebirth of Roman culture. And they worship the dragon. And the word wonder, if I'm not mistaken, goes into being to be amazed at something, to marvel at something. And what at one point in the world, the world marveled at America. You know, they were in awe of America. And there was given unto him a mouth. No, verse 4. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who's like to the beast, was able to make war with them. Once again, all these things, America is Rome 2.0. You worshiping, you're following the lifestyle of America. You're bound down to lifestyle of America. You know, it's pretty much Rome. You know, Rome reborn. And they worship the dragon. No, sorry, I reread that. And going back into how they wondered after the beast, it says, who was like unto the beast, who's able to make war with him? Who was able to make war with Esau? You know, with Esau's power structure. You know. Let me see here. I did mention that. Revelation 17:2. Yeah. 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked to me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And there's a scripture that refers to waters as people. Yep, it says, I had a feeling this in the same chapter. We'll jump down to verse 5. Wait a minute. 17:15. Yeah, Revelation 17:15. He said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So what? The great whore, going down to who that whore is at the top of many nations and many people. And what was that other scripture? Let me see. This might not be it. Habakkuk 2:5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who largely desires hell, and this is death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, heapeth unto him all people. And what? America is a melting pot. You know, every other nation in the world, they're how do I say this where it makes sense? They're more so inclusive of their people. You know, America is the only, like, you have different countries that are adopt America's lifestyle. You know, adopt America's culture of inclusivity. Japan, for example, right? Japan, you know, they get a lot of tourists. I think Asia in general, but I know Japan. I was just reading about this a little while ago. Japan gets a lot of tourists, but how do I say this where it makes sense? When it comes to outsiders, those niggas pretty much believe that, sure, you can come here, you know, you can tour around, but you're not one of us. You know, you come here, you tour, you get the fuck out. You know, unlike America, which say, hey, you know, you come here from all these other countries, you know, you're an American, you're one of us. We welcome you with open arms. Other nations don't have that type of mentality. Now, because America's influence, they may move towards that type of mentality, but America is the only nation which wholeheartedly just accepts everyone that, you know, from every creed. These other nations, they keep their sense of self and their sense of culture, and I guess autonomy may not be the correct term to use, but they keep their sense of self more closely guarded. But America is the only place on this earth that freely just welcomes everybody. And once again, you got other countries that do that as well, but America is known for that. Everybody wants to come to America. I might have to make a part 2 of this, but I'm going to go back to this really quick. Going to that whore that sitteth on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Once again, going to the lifestyle and the philosophy that these people have consumed. The ones, like I mentioned, the heathen nations, they took a swig of that wine, of that philosophy. What you have in the movie The Last Emperor actually shows how in China, like, their whole thing started to go down when you had that Edomite that came into their country and pretty much, I guess you could say, brought in innovation or industrialism. And like that guy, he ended up I think that's him at the end of the movie. He ended up like a janitor or some shit. But when Western society started to move forward over there, their customs started to die out, and they started wearing suits. Like what? Shade face suits. Similar business models and structures to America. Even their women are adopting the same pattern of life as a horse here in America. Being just that, horse. Wanting what they would call freedom. So he carried me away in spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And names of blasphemy going to not only the so-called white man blaspheme the Lord verbally, but also his lifestyle, his philosophy, his laws are completely adverse to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in pride, and they boast in that. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and those back then, purple and scarlet, high societal figures wore those colored type of garments because they were expensive. You go into the process of how purple is made. I think, if I remember correctly, they get it from they harvest it from, I don't think it's a sea slug, but they harvest it from some type of small insect like animal like that, and it's it's a intricate process. And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup and a handful of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Once again, her philosophy, doctrines, lifestyle. Upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, the abomination of the earth. And that whore is Mystery Babylon the Great. Not just regular Babylon, but Babylon the Great, which is going into America. I just wanted to get that. I might jump back here to get some... But here, let me see. Verse 8, the beast thou sawest was and is not, shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names is not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is, which is once again going to Rome, because what it existed, it was destroyed, and it revived. And here's a mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, and what mountains are representative of governments, on which the woman sitteth. And America is at the helm. What America is modern day Basra. And let me see here, Basra. And Basra is the capital city of Edom. And this is Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Basra, that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength? I speak of righteousness, mighty to save. And this is a prophecy of Yahushua coming back to destroy America. He's not going to old Basra. This is a prophecy that's supposed to, future prophecy. I just wanted to get that. I might have to come back and make a part two. Like I already said that, but I'm trying to figure out somewhere to end this. And verse 11, verse 12, and 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which shall receive no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Going into what? Those original 10 founded nations, they were in league. They were part of Esau's power structure, and they're in league with America. EU and NATO. If I remember correctly, they were originally known as ECC, European Common Community. But they joined up with America, and what now they grew into I think it's 28 plus, because I've been hearing like more nations joining that shit. But now they have governance over the world. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Ye shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords, King of kings, and they that are with him are called chosen and faithful. And what was it? I think 2 Corinthians 13, where it mentions how Yahushua is going to come back and turn his enemies into dust. But it mentions how World War III is going to happen. Everybody's going to turn. Everybody who's fighting themselves are going to turn against him. All the people. All these nations that are fighting in World War III, when Yahushua comes back, they're going to turn against him. And I think it was Ronald Reagan that mentioned how everybody in the world is going to come together when they're faced with an external threat. But I'm going to come back and make a part 2 of this. Shalom.